Hello friends, welcome to Crown Grow channel. Today we are going to read about these topics. 1. Enjoy the moment. 2. Stop feeding your ego. 3. Stop thinking. 4. Set goals. 5. 5-step method for setting goals. 6. Type of goals. 7. What to do when you fail to achieve your goals. 8. Your newfound purpose. 9. Keep repeating. Let's start now. Enjoy the moment. By focusing on the present, you can ignore the past or future. Many want to find inner peace and turn off the voice in their head. By being fully present, you can achieve a state of mind that is free of worry. Living in the present will also free you from any fear. Because there is no fear when you truly live in the moment, unless a tiger is charging at you at this very instance. Our most common fears concern things or events that might happen in the future. We tend to live our lives in the past or the future. If you are not worrying about what might happen, you are either reminiscing or regretting the past. When you do this, you neglect the present. When you are physical with your spouse, but your thoughts are with work, you are not present. Your partner deserves your full attention. The present is important because life does not occur in the past or future. Things happen before our eyes, and if we do not pay attention, we miss a moment that will be forever gone. Events occur in a flow of present moments. Even when you replay a feeling from the past, that feeling was once experienced in the present. Therefore, when you say that something happened in the past, that is not true. When something occurs, it always happens in the present. Your memories also occurred in a moment that once was the present for you. Worrying about the future or dwelling on the past will yield nothing, whereas living in the present moment will. If you manage to live in the present moment, you will experience neither stress nor anxiety. There is no reason to fear something that has not happened or regret something from the past. You have no control over those things. Similarly, worrying about looming deadlines can create excessive anxiety. Instead, focus on solving one part of the problem at a time. By deconstructing your challenge and dealing with them step by step, you take care of your problems in the present moment. You might wonder, how can you enjoy the moment when something bad occurs to you? If something happens that causes stress and pain, that is very real, and it happens in the present moment. Eckhart Tolle writes, in his book The Power of Now, that the stress you experience when something bad happens is self-created inner resistance to external factors that we cannot change. As a result, we experience pain because we are unsatisfied and powerless about a situation. When we experience a situation that frustrates us, we feel anger, and that anger will constrain our ability to think rationally. This frustration will in turn lead to more stress. We say things like, how could I let myself go like that? This thinking pattern is a negative cycle that will lead to more stress and anxiety. Mental suffering is always self-created and comes from inside yourself. That means you can also decide to stop it. Life is not meant to be suffered. It's meant to be lived, enjoyed, loved, and truly experienced. Stop feeding your ego. The main thing that stands in the way of practicing happiness is our ego. Our ego controls our thoughts and behaviors, without us realizing it. Most people are not aware of their ego, which makes it difficult to control their happiness. Ego is also a problem in relationships. What is more important in your relationship, winning arguments or true love and connection? With many relationships, it looks like winning arguments is more important than love, connection, affection, support, and having a good time with each other. Next time when you're getting into an argument, stop and ask yourself whether you or your ego is having the argument. Stop thinking. Once you realize that your mind and ego are causing you stress and anxiety, you need to separate yourself from both your mind and ego. The way to detach yourself from your thoughts and ego is by becoming fully conscious of your mind. Your mind is more powerful than you think. If we do not understand it, our mind will control us. You can detach yourself from your ego by observing your mind and thoughts. The following exercise helps you to achieve this. 1. Remove yourself from your thoughts. After you are finished reading for today, start with observing your thoughts from a third-person perspective. Picture yourself looking at what your mind is thinking. Just observe when your mind wanders off to the past or future. 2. Accept your thoughts. Do not judge your thoughts. This exercise is all about observing. You will notice that you are almost constantly thinking about something, and nearly 90% of those thoughts are about the past and future. This voice in your head is a massive cause for your self-inflicted stress and anxiety. Now accept that your voice exists and know that you do not have to follow it. 3. Ignore your thoughts. Instead of following your thoughts, stop yourself when you notice that you are being unreasonable. Otherwise, you end up like a dog that is chasing cars. For example, when you agree to have a call with your friend at 7 p.m. and she does not call you, do not judge her. Stop following your thoughts. She might be in the middle of something, you do not know the reason she has not called you yet, so do not worry about it. Eventually, you will find yourself in control of your mind, and this will make you stop thinking about the things you cannot change or trigger your worry. Set goals. The greater danger for most of us isn't that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it is too low and we reach it. Michelangelo, I have a love-hate relationship with goals. I hate goals because they cause tunnel vision. I love goals because they give you a sense of direction. The most important thing about setting goals is that it's not about achieving the goal. It's about the process that leads you to the goal. I can assure you that you won't get lasting happiness when you achieve your goals. Have you ever set out a goal, achieved it, and thought, now what? That is what I'm talking about. It's not about achieving the goal. It's about how the goal changes your daily life. Striving for goals forces you to form new habits. And that's priceless. If you want to truly defeat your inner enemy, you need a purpose. Your purpose will help you to be less anxious about the future because you have a conviction. However, without a clear set of goals, you will fail to fulfill your purpose. A thought must be executed, and by setting goals, you can start acting on your purpose. Execution is the only thing that brings a change to your life. And goals are a way of actively seeking out our ambitions. Before starting to chase your dreams, start by defining your goals as precisely as you can. If you do not have goals, make them up. Everything is better than having no goal at all. Even if you do not know what you want to do with your life, you have a goal to find out what you wish to do with your life. Some people say, I am not an ambitious person. No one is born with ambition or predefined goals. Ambition is a conscious decision to pursue growth in life through experience or achievement. Even if you have a purpose, without goals your life is still aimless because your destiny seems so far away or intangible. Goals are made up, and if other people can make up goals, then you can do it too. When set correctly, goals will guide you to your destination. For example, if you want to change your career, set clear goals for yourself. Ask yourself questions like, what does my ideal job look like, and when do I want to quit my current job? By asking these questions, you find out what your path looks like. From the answers to those questions, you can set goals. For instance, I want a job with enough freedom to express my creativity. And I will give myself 6 months to quit my job and find my ideal job. Another reason we set goals is because we cannot just sit around and hope that something good will happen to us. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is for people who have high expectations, but are not willing to do anything to make their dreams happen. After all, it is easy to do nothing. Reaching your dreams requires determination, and achieving your goals is tough. You will be rejected, you will fail. However, you cannot give up, for every setback teaches you something. And when you do complete your goals, the victory will be greater. 5 STEP method for setting goals. 1. Be precise. A want to be rich is not a specific goal. You should decide how much money you exactly want to make. For instance, if you wish to lose weight, you should decide exactly how much you want to weigh. 2. Think big. Do not play it safe. A life that is played safe is not a life worth living. Remove all limits you have in your mind and think about what you truly want to achieve. We are our greatest enemy when it comes to goal setting. The voice in our head says, that is way too outrageous, too quickly. Turn that voice off and always aim high with everything that you do. 3. Set a deadline. It is important to determine when exactly you want to achieve your goal. A goal is pointless if you will achieve it someday. If you want to move to New York City one day, mark a day in your calendar. For example, June 1, 2018, move to NYC. Otherwise, your goal will float somewhere in the undetermined future. Chances are, you will never accomplish a goal that has no deadline. In addition, looking at the date on your calendar motivates you to work toward your goal. 4. Decide what you will sacrifice. Achieving goals without sacrifice is a myth. You cannot lose weight and eat whatever you want, whenever you want. You have to make concessions. Think about things that you have to sacrifice. You do not have to give up everything to accomplish your goals. If you wish to lose weight, you can eat whatever you want on your cheat day. Commit to what you want to sacrifice, and mentally prepare for it. For instance, if you aspire to be a musician, chances are you have to travel to perform. Thus, mentally prepare for not seeing your family and friends all the time. 5. Write down your goal and action plan. Write down your goal in clear and short sentences. Your action plan does not have to be detailed when you are setting your goal. It needs to contain steps that you will take to achieve your goals. It can be as simple as read a book per week. Type of goals. Apply the specified 5-step method for setting financial, personal, learning, and health goals. Financial goals. Calculate the exact amount of money you need for the lifestyle you desire. Do you want to go on a holiday 4 times a year? Calculate how much that will cost as accurately as possible. Consider everything that you want to do or buy. Finally, take your monthly liabilities into consideration. Adding these figures up gives you a total amount of money you need to live the lifestyle you wish. Personal goals. These are the things that you want to do before you die. Also, you can set goals for the person you want to be. We decide what kind of person we want to be. The person we are is completely in our control. Think of Marcus Aurelius, emperor of the Roman Empire. His goal was to always do the right thing and treat people fairly. Learning goals. Knowledge is the starting point of every challenge you take on. Many confuse knowledge with school. While school often teaches us things we are not interested in, we should take personal responsibility for the things we learn and are curious about. This has nothing to do with school and is a commitment to lifelong learning. Knowledge is one of the most important aspects of human evolution, if not the most important. Knowledge is what helps us survive and adapt to any threat we face. We can learn from the mistakes that others made through books. People learn in different ways. Documentaries, books, school, audiobooks, podcasts, mentorships, or interviews. Find out how you learn and set goals for what you want to learn and how you're going to do it. Health goals. This is about the body you want and the physical condition you want to be in. With a healthy body and mind, you can take on every challenge that you face. Dr. John Ratey shows in his book Spark how regular exercise can lower the chances of atherosclerosis, diabetes, and depression. Additionally, regular exercise improves your immune system, so you are less susceptible to diseases. We have been given a body, and it is our job to develop and maintain it. What to do when you fail to achieve your goals. Goals are perfect for setting direction, but they will not do the work for you. To get work done on a daily basis, you need to rely on a system. The benefit of a system is that it cannot fail. Do you know that feeling of setting goals and not achieving them? It is not a good feeling. We feel defeated and worthless. That's why I'm an advocate of backing up your goals with a system. A system is nothing more than a recurring process. Create a daily recurring process that will bring you to your goals. For example, want to get rich? Add value to other people's lives. Want to get recognition? Do great work. Want to win a race? Train hard. Want to be happy? Don't take life too seriously. In the end, only you can create a system that supports your personal goals. Now that you have the tools, you can create your own system. Having a system and focusing on the daily progress will prevent you from forming tunnel vision. Because sometimes, it's easy to blindly focus on a goal that you've once set out to achieve. For example, a lot of people want to make $1 million a year. It's something that's popularized by modern culture. But why do you want $1 million? If you keep focusing on that goal, you might get yourself into a situation that you don't like. You might say yes to work that does not align with your values. And you might get a lot of stress because of that. The question you want to ask yourself is, why am I striving for a goal? And you want to ask yourself that regularly. Otherwise, you risk achieving goals that will not improve the quality of your life. Even when you do achieve your goals, do not expect fear to go away. For instance, many professional actors are still afraid every time they take on a new role. Just look at the celebrities who throw up backstage, or sometimes even on stage. A random Google search shows you that some of the biggest names in show business experience some sort of stage fright. Rihanna, Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga are all reported to vomit backstage, or even during a performance. Adele, Grammy-winning artist, told Vogue magazine, "I puke quite a lot before going on stage. Though never actually on stage. I shit myself before everything. The bigger the freak out, the more I enjoy the show." Win or lose, success or failure, fear will always stay. You better learn how to fight it. Your newfound purpose. We must build dikes of courage to hold back the flood of fear. Martin Luther King Jr. When it comes to our inner battles, it is not the goal to run away, because that will lead to more hurt. Life is difficult. That will never change. Once you deal with one obstacle, another, often bigger challenge is waiting for you. But that's exactly what life is about. See? Life is not about hiding, running, or shying away from conflict. It's about meeting your adversity head on. Those things sound great on paper, right? You read it and think you're ready to face life. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. No matter how many personal development books you read, you still have to toughen up and become a warrior. Through serious introspection, and by engaging with thousands of people over the years, I have found one simple thing. Life is a lot easier to bear when you have conviction. Once you know where you're going, even when you've made up your direction, you keep moving forward. And that is the only thing that counts. Do not worry about making the perfect decisions, just decide. Because once you get going, you can always go in a different direction. Remember this, life is not something that you can figure out. There is no right or wrong. There is only your life. Own it. Keep repeating. The separation of talent and skill is one of the greatest misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to excel, who have dreams, who want to do things. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. Will Smith. I've read this book. Now I've conquered my inner battles once and for all. If you think that, you couldn't be more wrong. Your brain is a muscle that requires permanent training. If you're a runner, you don't run one 10K race and quit forever, do you? If you want to master your inner battles and become mentally tough, you have to keep training your brain. And the only way to train your brain is to repeat the things you learned. Just like strength training, intellectual strength is about making reps. No one goes to the gym, bench presses one time and goes back home. David Schwartz, author of The Magic of Thinking Big, describes our mind as a bank where we deposit thoughts that we will access later. He argues that we become what we think. If we deposit positive thoughts in our mind, we will access them when we face difficulty along the road. Instead of giving up, we will automatically think positive. We reap what we sow. By knowing that we can control any kind of emotion and information we store in our mind, we determine who we become by controlling our thoughts. That is why it is important to be optimistic. We need it when times are tough. Not matter what your circumstances are, you determine your mindset. This notion sounds rather simplistic on paper, but is quite difficult to sustain over time. Remember, it is easier to be pessimistic. The difficulty of maintaining a positive mindset is also because of internal and external factors. Next to your own negative thinking, outside factors such as the media or the people you spend time with also influence your mindset. Most people are inherently pessimistic, sometimes even without realizing it. Most people think small and only gossip about other people. If you do not watch out, you will become like everybody else. The fear of giving in to normality is something you actually should be afraid of. As an experiment, keep a journal for one day and write down all the messages you receive from all media and people you encounter. Include all forms of communication, in person, radio, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, television, etc. Write down everything you see and hear. The easiest way to do this is with a note-taking app on your smartphone. You will find that most of the messages you receive strengthen your thoughts related to fear. Maybe you talk to your mother who says, "Be careful driving home tonight." Or maybe you read a news article titled, "Two people killed during a robbery." You might hear on the radio that people's pensions are worthless these days. People lost billions of dollars during the previous economic crisis. It will happen again. When you are at work, you might hear that John was laid off and no one knows why. Fear. 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 All these messages induce fear. Negative messages are more toxic than you might think. In a study by MIT, researchers found that for every time you hear "you cannot do it," you need to hear 17 positive affirmations to overwrite or cancel out the original negative message. Fear and negativity surround us, and you need to arm yourself by training your mind. The only way to do it is to be aware of your inner battle. You can never slip up. You always have to be prepared for battle. Thanks for watching.